like you're ready to come out and be like, hey, they look like you're ready to be like, woo! Woo! You gonna do your job?
featuring the Ponca City Wildcats and your Broken Arrow Tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we invite you to stand and remove your caps. And then all military men and women, active or veterans, render a salute to the flag of the United States of America as we honor those men and women who protect our freedoms both home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem. Performed this evening by Emily Beckley, a freshman wrestler here at Broken Arrow High School.
And welcome inside the field house. We've got a dual meet matchup, boys and girls on the mat this evening as we welcome in Ponca City this evening. I'm Dan Hawk alongside Mr. Chris Forbes, the legendary wrestler is like what I like to call him. Any chance I get to be on the microphone with a true professional such as yourself, I feel like I learn something every time out here on the mat. I guess going into this, before we started tonight, you were telling me about Broken Arrow claiming some opportunity this past week. Tell me about what they were able to do.
Yeah, you know, they wrestled in the Gary Open, which is one of the most prestigious tournaments in the country. Actually, it's I think 79th year. always a tough tournament because they bring teams from 10 different states. Broken Arrow finished third, right behind two of the top teams in the nation, Edmond North and Stillwater, which Broken Arrow beat Stillwater earlier on this year. So it was good for them to start out the first of the year. They had, I think, 5 or so, maybe more. I'll have to. We'll know which guys are out there that place. But they had several place winners, and that's a tough tournament. So started off the year real well for Broken Arrow.
Yeah, and now they get to return home as both teams come out and shake hands. And obviously tonight's also a special night too, because the girls will be going at it as well. So we got girls on the far side, boys in the middle, and I believe junior high will be on this closest mat in front of us right here.
So we'll get a lot of wrestling, and with the Ponca City, girls wrestling's kind of, it's new to Oklahoma, and it's new in general, but it's good to see that we've got 2 teams here that have full teams of female wrestlers. So.
Which is not something that we see or hear about.
No.
I mean, it's growing. I'm not saying it's not, but like getting in a full team.
Usually have, half a team here, half the weight. So it's good to see full teams like you were saying. And also Broken Arrow's undefeated in their duels so far. They came off their last win against Choctaw right before the Gary tournament. So they're having a great year.
Yeah, we got the starting lineups tonight. A couple of names in here that you were kind of not bragging, but discussing with me. Rudy Rojas is something that could be something.
Yes.
Rojas could be very special tonight at the 108.
Yeah. He actually came off. I think he got 4th, I believe, at Gary. So he's one of the guys that placed up there at Gary. He's had a good year so far. He's gonna have a pretty tough opponent here from Ponca City. I know Ponca City's got some of their senior leadership guys are out with Roland getting hurt, and Christian Kaiser, which he's a Michigan commit, he's injured as well. But Ponca City's still a really tough, really scrappy team.
It's a very old program, kind of like Broken Arrow in a lot of ways as well, and they've kind of gone ebb and flow with their rosters and whatnot. On their side of things, do you have a guy that could make some noise for Ponca City?
Well, there are a lot of young faces right now. Like I said, the guys who are their leadership are sitting right behind the bench with injuries, but a lot of leadership. So I'd like to see their 106 pounder, or excuse me, 106, but they've got the weight allowance after that. Garrett Short, I'd like to see him compete and see some of these young guys kind of make a name for themselves.
How hard is it to wrestle on a night like this when there's, you're wrestling your match, but there's 2 other matches? I mean, I know it's common, but to have the female and the male going at it, does that cause anything?
No, really once the match starts, to be honest, once that match starts, you're just focused on your match. I know the only time it comes into factor maybe is when you're getting a whistle start or something. You might hear the other whistle or you might stop. So you've got to keep in your mind to keep wrestling until, if there's a doubt, just keep wrestling. But other than that, you just focused on your match. You don't really know what's going on around you, really.
Well, I don't know about you, but I love this opportunity of having the boys and the girls wrestle.
And the junior high.
And
a lot of wrestling,
I mean, this is the best part about it. It shows that this sport is definitely live and well, and it's continuing to get bigger here in the state. And hopefully you're with me when we get into the new building across the way.
We talked about it last time. That's nice.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be nice. So Ponca City and Broken Arrow will get set as both teams are being introduced out onto the mat. Let's take a quick timeout, and we'll have some Broken Arrow Tiger Wrestling against Ponca City coming up shortly here on Aerovision.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance. Life happens in a hurry. Our money experts will help you keep up. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance. Your side hustle keeps you moving. We'll help you get where you really want to go. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Matthews Ford in Broken Arrow has been collaborating with Broken Arrow Public Schools since 2016 and sponsors the Broken Arrow Teacher of the Year Award by providing a courtesy car for the winner to drive throughout the year. We'd like to recognize Matthews Ford for being a valuable community partner with Broken Arrow Public Schools.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. We're also proud to be team orthopedist for FC Tulsa. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately. At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
And welcome back inside the Fieldhouse. I'm Dan Hawk alongside our wrestling analyst, Chris Forbes. And we're going to start it off on the center, Rudy Rojas versus Garrett Short, 106 weight class. And the scoring will be Broken Arrow on the green, Ponca City on the red. And you were kind of bragging about Rudy starting this match, that you expect a lot of things out of him.
Yeah, both guys. This is going to be a good match. You know, both guys are it's a contrast of styles. You know, Rudy's got the length. Garrett's kind of short and compact.
Stocky,
Rudy,
but ripped out of his mind,
it
looks like.
And Rudy's coming off a fourth-place finish at the Gary tournament, which is one of the tougher tournaments in the state. So, you know, he's had a good showing there and trying to carry that over into this match. So far, there's been no points scored early in this match. They're kind of filling each other out, but yeah, this should be one of the better matches that we've got on paper.
Yeah, Rudy has that reach, but Garrett has that probably strength and stockiness to him that he can get low to the ground.
Hard to get to his legs.
That's exactly right.
Yes. Now, Rudy's doing a good job using his leverage. He needs to try to attack that ankle instead of that hip, because he can keep turning when he's got the upper, you know, his behind there. He needs to go to the ankle where he can't circle on him. He's getting stretched out here, which is good for Rudy.
How about
There's
that?
two. Nice no takedown. So Rudy's up 2-0 with 42 seconds left in the first period. So, Dan, we were talking earlier on break. We kind of were throwing some stuff around, and we were talking about, you know, Ponca City. It's interesting. They have 2 Olympic gold medalists from that school. That small
Shelby
school
Wilson's one of them.
Yep, Shelby
that
Wilson,
I learned.
Doug Bloomball. Yep. And
both wrestled at Oklahoma State.
Both at Oklahoma State, and both won it in the Coliseum in Rome. So,
wow,
very cool.
Stories for days, there.
I mean, it's hard to make the Olympic team, much less win a gold medal, and 2 of them came from the same school at the same time.
Also on the mat on the other side, our varsity girls team, Elena Peralta versus Camilla Bowen, weight class 100. Both of them very evenly on the weight. 101.5.
Elena looks like she's on top right now, kind of controlling 2-0, and it's going into the second period. So both going into the second period looks like in both Broken Arrow, both female and male, both have the advantage. Looks like Rudy's got choice. He chose down.
Yes, he did choose down.
And actually, I take that back. The women are not in the out of the first period yet. There's still 30 seconds left with
Yes, they
Elena
are.
on top. So still got a little bit of time over there before they hit the second period, but she's doing a good job of kind of keeping pressure on her and driving her. Call it technical against her. I'm not sure what she did.
You know, for short on Rudy, this isn't easy because it's their body types are completely different. And how about
wow.
that? Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
That is crazy. Now he's got Garrett's got the double flanker on. Rudy's got to kind of clear his leg to get out of that, because right now he's doing a good job now. The legs have come out, so Rudy's going to do a good job. His hips are out. He's got to keep his hips away. Where Rudy messed up there, Dan, is he put his hips back into the wrestler. Good job there. He's got a scramble
He's gonna
coming.
pick up
now
a
he's
point
got
with the escape.
Got the escape. There's a minute left here in the second period, so got his points, and now he's got a 3-0 lead.
They're going to get pushed out, so they'll go back in.
So here's a interesting thing for your viewers. You know wrestling's a tough sport when they actually have something called blood time. So looks like Rudy's got a little blood coming out, so they've got blood time. So not many sports actually have time pushed aside for bleeding.
So while he's being checked out, let's check in on the girls match right now.
Looks
We'll
like
pull it
it's-
up on the monitor here for you in just a moment.
2-1 right now. Elena has that lead, but she gave up that technical, and I believe it might have said she might have touched hands or something on the Huff Nelson, which gave the technical point. But
she picked up another one
got
there
another
on the
takedown
rotation.
right there. Yep. So she's up 4-1 right now. I guess maybe someone chose neutral in the second period, so she's got a 4-1 lead. Should be. There it is. So 4-1 lead.
And I want to give a shout out to Blake Shy along with Antonio Hurling that are doing our stream tonight. Blake has the tall task of keeping score on 2 different matches going at it.
Yep, and you know, getting the cameras on the right match.
That's
and all that
right.
stuff. So they're doing a great job. So definitely good shout out there, because we've got our hands full. There's a lot of wrestling
Yes,
going
there
on.
is, and even the JVs are going at it as well. Rudy and Short now standing tall
Back at
with
it.
one another.
Rudy's got a 3-0 lead, and he's using his leverage real good with that underhook, kind of taking the match to him. Coaches are telling him, and I believe it's a good deal to tell him he needs to pull him down and get around behind him. But there he is. He's got to trap that ankle. If he traps that ankle, he can no longer circle away.
And he picks up 2 more points
It's
at that
2
trap
more, so
right
he's up
there.
5-0. Now he's got to look at, let's possibly ride him out and then work toward getting some bonus points. So he needs to get some bonus points, and we talked about it on the last duel, and I'll just kind of say it for the viewers, but when we talk bonus points, there's several ways you can get bonus points. So a win is 3 points. If you beat your opponent by 8 points or more, or 8 points or below 15, you get, it's called a major decision, you get 4 for the win. If you get a technical fall, which is 15 points, the match is stopped, and they get 5. You get a fall, which is when both shoulders are down, that's 6 points for a fall. So that's kind of how the scoring goes. And right now the score's not right. It should be 5-0.
And Elena's match.
There it is. So they've got it fixed up here. It should be 5-0. And
Elena's match just ended.
Oh, did she get a fall?
I believe she got a fall on the other end. We'll probably check in at that at some point to confirm that.
Okay.
So coming up on the women's side, Sophia Reese versus Marley Arbana.
Arbana and Reese here. And we're in the third here on the boys' side. Garrett's kind of pushing them out. I'm not sure what the stoppage was for, but
How do you defend a wrestler like Short when like Rudy's got probably 6 to 8 inches on him?
it's hard. You've got to match levels, kind of almost be all the way to the mat, because in wrestling the low man usually he's got the advantage. You've got to create angles and snap downs, and kind of like what Rudy just did there, pressure into him, get his head to the mat, and then chase corner and look for ankles. Especially if you've got the leverage advantage, you can get the corners and get those ankles and all that stuff a lot easier. Look for your cradles, etc.
Let's do a quick look at the 2-box if we can, with Sophia Reese and Marley Arbana.
Looks like no one scored yet. It looks like 54 seconds into the first, but looks like Arbana's close to a takedown. She's on the leg trying to get that in. Nothing yet. Sophia's doing a really good job of defending that, putting her hip. She needs to get her leg back, but she's doing a really good job. But like you said, she's getting close. Arbana's getting that corner, and that is not what you want if you're Sophia.
Let's go back to Rudy.
Another takedown for Rudy. He's got 1 point away. Now he's getting the back points.
Rudy's going for the back points
So he's
here.
got the major. Now he's going to try to go for a pin. He's got at least the 4-point decision by a major. So he's got 4 for the team win. He's trying to get 6.
Short is being stretched out all over
We
the
talked
place.
about it earlier. That's when you get this. You look for cradles when you've got those guys that are not real tall. You know, you get the angle and look for a cradle, which is exactly what Rudy did. So he's got his 3. So he's up 9-0. Even if he escapes, he still preserves the 8-point win with the major.
He's taking care of business on Short this evening, Chris.
Oh, no doubt. He's been dominant, and Short's not a bad wrestler. Actually, it's 10-0. And Short's not a bad wrestler, so Rudy's kind of playing off that Gary tournament that he had and carrying that over into this duel today. So getting Broken Arrow started out with a major decision.
Well, he'll pick up an escape there for Short, but he's going to have to claw deep. And it's not going to matter.
10-1, there you go.
Good victory for Rudy.
Way to start him out, for sure. And it's still 0-0. It looks like it's into the second period over here.
Or for Sophia, correction.
Yep, Sophia's on bottom, and it looks like Arbana's on top, and it's still 0-0. So still competitive match over there. Looking for hand control, trying to get out.
Yeah, Sophia's stretching those legs out.
Yeah.
Which is going to cause issues for Arbana.
She's got to keep turning out, and a good job by Arbana following through and getting back behind her, but she's got to keep putting, at least more than one move together to get away. But definitely some good wrestling here right now. It's 0-0, minute in. She's got to keep circling out. There she goes. She gets her escape. She's got to get her head out, but, she's pretty much going to get that escape.
Picks up the 2 there, yeah.
Yep. She's got to go on the elbow, pull that elbow, not the hand, but she's got to pull the elbow. Got the cradle. She's inside. She's just got to bump her hip down and rock her back.
And on the center mat, it's Bradley, and you're going to help
Lazzarini.
me. Lazzarini. I
Yep.
wanted to make sure. And I believe this is Jimmy.
I don't know if this is Jim. I know Jimmy Swenson. I don't know if this is Jimmy or not.
Or is this Blake Parker?
I know the Swensons. He it doesn't look like him, but who knows? There's a long line of Swensons. I'm real good friends with their family, but I don't know. Doesn't look like Jimmy, but could be wrong.
So that if it's not, then it would be Blake Parker.
It's either Jimmy Swenson or Blake Parker, and we're Broken Arrow. It's Bradley Lazzarini.
Lazzarini already picks up a couple quick points.
So they're saying Parker. So we've got Blake Parker. That's what
Perfect.
I thought. I knew Swenson. It didn't look like him. So.
They're both going to stay up right now.
And Dan, we talked about this earlier. We're not spring chickens, so we might have some trouble seeing here and there. So it's hard for us to kind of see the guy until we hear the deal. So
yeah, we have one pair of binoculars this evening, and they're already being occupied right now.
So bear with us at first
Yes.
when some of these start, because there's multiple names in some of these weights. But Broken Arrow's off to another good start. We talked about it in the last duel. They're aggressive. They've been aggressive at all, on their feet, on the mat, on bottom, and it's paid off. I can tell they put a lot of time in it. Good throw by Lazzarini, so he's got another 2 points. He's up 4-1.
He's staying on top, and
He's going to look. He's got that half in deep. He's going to look to kind of pull him over and look for some back here.
because these ones are so evenly matched, Parker with 114.3, Lazzarini 115 exactly. Is that 0.7 of a pound really going to matter in a match like this?
No, and really, I'll tell you, he's got to be careful here they don't give up the reverse. What matters is, most of these guys are going to be within a certain weight unless you're bumping up. So weight's not a big factor. It's how you got to that weight. So if this one guy, didn't eat for days and didn't do his weight right, he's going to get exhausted out there in the match. Or the other guy that ate, worked out, did what he had to do. It plays a big factor. Nutrition plays a big factor in wrestling.
I'm glad you brought that up because, especially at this level, how tough is that as a high school student? I mean, because the eating is not like it's regimented
No.
like your son over at OU.
Yeah, well, And I never learned it till, I didn't learn how to properly lose weight until I got into college. Looks like we got a pin over there for Broken Arrow.
Looks like
Sophia Reese got a pin. Yeah, Sophia Reese got a pin over there for Broken Arrow. So that's a good win for them. It puts them up 11-0 or 12-0. So they've had back-to-back pins. So back-to-back pins for Broken Arrow. But like we were talking about nutrition earlier, Dan, in high school, it's kind of hard for these high schoolers to kind of get that concept. Now, they're getting a lot more advanced now than when I was in high school, but I never really learned the importance of properly pulling weight and properly doing nutrition until I got into college when we had nutritionists. And you eat and you work out. You
and
eat
let's
the right
be honest,
things,
a double cheeseburger is not always
No.
the proper weight that you want to be adding
is not. No. The grease is not good for you.
No, it's not.
Grease and sodium. There's two right there.
Two right there with a
And he looks like
reversal.
he's going to go for a spladle here.
He's stretching him way out.
Oh, yeah. He was going for it, but he was too far stretched out to get the move. But he's doing good. He's staying aggressive on top, looking for points. He's up 6-1 right now. And, Broken Arrow does a good job of just keep putting points on the board.
And eventually, Kristen de La Rosa will take on Tootie Bales at 115 for the Lady Tigers.
And you'll notice when Dan's talking here that we actually have different weights. So the girls and guys are not the same weights. There's, their weight categories are different, and I think they don't have as many weights as the boys do. So we've got an 8-1 here. So Lazzarini's got a 7-point lead here, so he's looking for bonus points as well. And it's still early in the second period, so he keeps wrestling, putting points on the board. It's going to be working out for him in his favor.
His strength definitely playing a factor there. He nearly flipped him when the whistle was
no
blown
doubt
to start the match.
And I've been impressed with Broken Arrow so far this entire year with their mat wrestling. So how good they've been on top and how good they've been on bottom. They've really improved there. So we got 47 seconds here, and Lazzarini's got an 8-1 advantage there. He's going for a cradle. And you can always tell, what moves a team works on when you see it. It looks like cradles, halves, stuff that's been real emphasis for Broken Arrow.
What was your go-to back in the day?
I like several things, but when I was there, I like to wrestle on my feet. But when I was wanting to turn or something, I did something called a Navy Right. I'd shoot through and kind of go bait them into doing a half Nelson. But, I like to wrestle on my feet and kind of do technical falls and stuff more than anything. I was not a big pinner.
Your son the opposite of that, or
no? He's kind of the same as me. He's not a big pinner. I wish I was. It got the match over with a lot, but I would usually do the 15 points. I was doing takedowns till I got that.
So far, Lazzarini is just taking control.
Yeah, he's got a huge lead. 10 seconds left in the second. 8-1. So he just needs 1 point to get a major here. Oh, there's a takedown over there on the far mat.
Yeah, let's go two box for a moment.
De La Rosa got a takedown. She's up 2-0 with 15 seconds in the first. So, and
there we go.
They do a great job going in here. We've got dual cameras, and like I said, if you're wanting to see some wrestling, this is definitely the place to be tonight. We got the junior high, the girls, the varsity boys. It's another fall. Looks like Broken Arrow got another fall. So, oh no, time ran out. So. She's going to get the back count, but not the fall. So De La Rosa is going to go up. Should be, I don't know if she got 2 or 3. And while that was happening, Lazzarini gets another 2 points here. I believe, was it a takedown? Where he got a takedown?
Takedown, yes.
He's up 9-1, so now he has the major secured.
We can go back to Lazzarini a little bit.
He's
like I said,
for a
folks, give us a little bit of a breather tonight. We're doing a lot of work with our equipment this evening here in the field house.
Yeah, it's a lot of wrestling, so you'll hear us kind of going back and forth and trying to get you guys and everyone listening and watching, trying to give you guys the best experience and kind of letting you know what's going on here.
Looks like Parker's going to stay down.
And he's 10-1, so he could have, Lazzarini could even afford for an escape. So
Lazzarini now with 11.
Oh, 11. Okay, it's 11. 11. Yeah, he's working hard on top. Looks like he's got that wrist.
Bending the wrist, trying to pull it over.
And they've done a good job with that wrist, that half Nelson, that wrist to a half Nelson. Like I said, that in the cradle looks like Broken Arrow's been doing a lot of work on that on top. You see in the background with the arm brace on is one of Ponca City's top wrestlers. He's a 2-time state champ, Christian Kaiser. He's committed to University of Michigan, so Big Ten team. So it's good to see. I'm always glad to see these Oklahoma guys. I love them staying in state, but it's good to see them going out of state too.
Of course, we want to see him here, but just placing with the opportunity of playing at the or competing at the next level, that's the most important thing.
And we've got some of the best schools in the country here. Oklahoma,
that's right.
Oklahoma State, UCO. We've got several, smaller schools as well that are here within the state. Lazarini's got 10 seconds. He's done a good job of just staying behind the hips, controlling the arms. He's done a really good job. And on the far mat, the women's match, De La Rosa's got a 5-0 lead. She's on top with like 30 seconds left into that second period.
So
Lazzarini gets the win. Yep, and
he
gets a major. So there's another bonus point victory.
So far for the boys, we've won 2 straight matches. And the girls,
both with bonus points.
Still trying to find out if Elena Peralta picked up that win. It went quickly.
So now we've got for Broken Arrow, we're going to have Hudson Beckley.
122.
Yep, and Beckley's, one of their top wrestlers. He's done a good job. Last time he wasn't here. I don't believe he wrestled last time. I think he was coming off an injury. So it's good to see him back. And he placed at Gary as well. I think he got, let me see what Beckley got. I believe Beckley got maybe 5th, I believe.
And on the far mat, Arbana picked up 2 more points. So Arbana's trailing Sophia Reese 5-2. Back on the center mat, Beckley working on that half Nelson again, and he picks up 2 points.
Beckley's really tough on top. He wrestled some, he wrestled last year, and then as a freshman he wrestled some when he was at my son's weight, so he'd wrestle for my son in some matches and did really good. Would always be very competitive and super tough on top. That's where he's comfortable.
He's just quick. And he's working on
he's getting that leg in. He's going to power half, and he's got a very good power half.
He is all over Cox right now.
Oh, yeah. And he's like I said, he's super tough on top.
He's grinding that right forearm right now.
He's just driving in. He's got that half real deep. And he's over the hips, so he's covering the hips. He's got the half real deep. He's got one leg in, but he's stretching them out, and that's a tough ride there. Connor Cox from Ponca City is really going to have a hard time doing anything. Now he's got the double flankers. If he just arches his back like he's doing right now, he's putting a lot of pressure. Dan, that pressure is—it's
going to burn like fire.
Man, it wears you out. And he's going to do that power half really, really hard.
Trying to flip him in to pin him.
Yeah, he's going to power half and go to one side. He's got to be careful, though. He's got to stay behind the arms and make sure he's not too high. They called technical. I'm not sure. I don't know if he locked hands like we had down there in the girls' match earlier, or he figured forward. I'm not sure. He gave a caution.
Let's go to a 2-box for a little bit here. Because right now, De La Rosa.
Well, we got Beckley. Remember, did she get the fall last time, or De La Rosa? Oh no, this is still De La Rosa, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, this is interesting. It's got Emily Beckley and Hudson Beckley could be wrestling at the same time. So, pretty interesting.
Now we go back to the main mat here with.
So that's the end of the first period. Hudson's got a 2-1 advantage? Oh yeah, because they had the technical.
Yes.
So 2-1, but really it was a controlling match for Hudson.
Now you talked about earlier about how he's more powerful going, on top. When he's in down, what is his goal here then? Just to maintain?
Really, when you're down, what you want to do for any wrestler is control. Don't let him get control. Control the inside. Get the hands. Control hands. Get to your feet and get your hips away and get out. That's where Hudson, when he was on top, he's done such a good job of keeping those hips in that pocket. They call it keeping in that pocket. And he kept those hips tight to him so he couldn't get away. So Beckley's got to get his hips away and look to control hands and get to his feet.
Might as well go 2 box because Emily Beckley is going at it with Oakley Hunt, and I believe this is brother and sister. I would assume.
I believe so, or some
sort of siblings.
I wonder if they help each other out.
Yeah, they might. They might.
Because they're close. Looks like they're kind of close in weight a little bit.
A little bit. Emily comes in at 122. I was always told not to tell a woman's weight.
Right.
She is 122.
Now Beckley's got to be. Hudson's got to be. We got to be careful saying Beckley because we got 2 of them going. But
Correct.
Hudson's got to be careful here. What they've got is he's got what they call thread the needle, where he can kind of keep coming and putting pressure. If he takes that knee and puts it over on Beckley's head, like he's doing right now, Beckley's going to have a hard time. He's got to fight hard here, which he did, so good for him. But Cox is doing a really good job on top. He's kind of returning the favor a little bit. So
this is a pretty good evenly matched.
Yeah, so far this has been kind of a, and I don't know if I can't remember if Hudson wrestled at Gary or not. I know he was out the last duel we had with an injury, so Hudson's looks like he might be a little more gas than he normally is a little bit. I mean, Connor's wrestling tough. I mean, Connor's wrestling really hard on top.
He's trying to rotate him around here.
Yeah, and Connor's getting a little high right here, and what Hudson's got to do is get that right arm out, get his hips up, and keep shaking. You can
That's
see
what coach is telling him.
They're telling him to shake and get that arm out. And Emily Beckley down there has got a 2-0 lead and looks like she's going for the fall.
This is getting close here.
Now you want to keep that leg in there. If he can keep that leg in there, he's in trouble. He's in trouble right here. And the ref needs to look and call the fall. Yep. There
How
it is.
about that?
There it is, the pin.
Good job on the pin there.
Beckley's kept that leg in there, and when he went to reach the head, that's why you got to arch so he can't get your head, but you also got to put pressure on him. You can't get too high on that ride. Good job by Hudson Beckley.
On the other mat, Emily will go down with Oakley.
And she's up 5-0 right now. And then we've got Hunter Knox here for Broken Arrow.
Which is another big one.
Yeah, and Hunter's coming off 4th place at Gary. So he had a really good Gary tournament and a tough bracket. So
it looks like he will wrestle Cam Kaiser, 126.
No, he's going to have.
Or is it Carson Epperson?
Yep, he'll have Epperson.
Okay.
Yep.
Beckley and Hunt. Beckley leading it 6-0 now.
It'll be an interesting holidays in that family. Pull everything aside and let's get some wrestling practice.
That's right.
So let's see Hunter,
And she picked up 2 more, so now she's going to lead it.
She's up 6-0, and now she's getting a back 8-0.
Should be 8-0, yes.
Now she's getting a back count right now, going for the fall.
That's very close to be going to a pin. She's close.
Oh, Hunter Knox has just got a throw right now, and he's both Broken Arrow wrestlers on both mats are going for a fall.
Might want to keep it on 2 box for just a moment here.
Yeah. Got us covered here. Uh-oh. Hunter's got a good job. He's running that half in. He's going to stack him over.
Oh.
There it is right there.
Close.
That's tight. That's tight. There it is.
There's a pin.
Back-to-back pins for Broken Arrow.
And Beckley might get the pin here. Oh. She's just got to rotate her over, it looks like.
Yeah, she's getting close, too. Looks like about to get a fall
there. It is.
There we go.
2 straight pins
for
the
City.
boys and
Fall
the girls.
City.
How about that? Congrats to the Beckley. So now for the boys, it'll be Ryan Demmett for Broken Arrow versus Ethan Pappin, I believe. The handwriting for
looks like Pappin.
Looks like Pappin, yes.
So Pappen and Dimmitt are here on the center mat for the boys.
And Ashton Sagely.
Wow, that was kind of a quick deal. So they called a
Thomas
stall call against Broken Arrow. It looks like he was backing off the mat, so they called the stall there pretty early in the match.
And like I said on the girls, Ashton Sagely 122 versus Kaylee Thomas 124.
And I know Sagely real well. Her dad actually wrestled for Broken Arrow. Was a really good wrestler. Went on to wrestle for the University of Cornell as well. Was one of the city judges here in Broken Arrow. Just great guy. He's in Claremore now, I believe. Dennis Sagely is her dad.
He's probably in attendance tonight.
I'm sure he's around here somewhere. So he's a great guy, and the Sagely family was well known here. And actually, he is. He's over there watching real close in the black hat. So
I see it.
He's
paying
close attention. So good to see her wrestle. It looks like a takedown here, Ponca City. So Pappen's got the takedown. He's up 2-0.
And we'll go back to that in just a moment. There we are with Pappen.
And he's got to be careful. His leg's trapped. Dimmitt's got to get that leg. He's got to scoot forward and get that leg clear.
How much pressure is he getting on his neck right here, getting pulled?
He's getting a lot of pressure, and if that guy from Ponca puts his head in the side, it's weird. So in freestyle you can do it, but in folk style you can't. They call it a technical or vice versa. I can't remember, but you can't put your head in there without getting that. And I believe it might be vice versa. In freestyle you can't do it.
Sagely won her match.
Oh, good.
On the far side.
So they're up 27-0. So it looks like the Broken Arrow girls are pretty dominant right now. Broken Arrow boys as well. They're up 20-0. So the girls up 27-0 team score. The boys are up 20-0.
And Tiffany Bershears will go at it with Portia Krager, 130 weight class.
And I believe, Dan, in Broken, this is the first match that Broken Arrow's actually been behind right now. So it's going into the second, down 2-0.
Shears, they're moving quickly. She's going to pick up twos.
Yeah,
how about that
was
for
a
quick
takedown?
takedown?
Yeah, for sure. She was moving real good, moving her feet, going in and out.
And just staying right on top of
Oh, yeah. And she
Krager.
She had Krager confused for sure.
Hard to believe that we're already almost halfway through this.
Yeah, it's going pretty fast. It's funny, Dan. They got a term in wrestling that you always use. It's like slow feet don't eat. That means just move your feet, you know. So it's kind of funny that looks like they're going for another pin down there in the girls' match.
And it's getting close.
Yes. So Bershears looks like she's going for a fall here.
And then we'll get right back to
and it's interesting.
Dimmitt's match.
I'm seeing some of these names on the girls still that I wrestled with some of their brothers and everything else. So she's got her on her back, going for a fall again. Broken Arrow girls have looked very impressive
Yes,
tonight.
they have. She's going to pick up the pin.
Another fall for the girls, and we're still here on the center mat as well with the boys. That's 2-1 right now, which looks like we've kind of got it within a striking distance.
Unbelievable. Is that 3 straight falls?
Yeah.
Wow.
3. That's going to be a pretty quick duel that keeps that up. Either someone's ready to go home or these girls are just dominant. And I think it's the latter. These girls are dominant, and they're looking good.
Addison
Farquhar, her brother wrestled here last year and does some stuff international. Josh Farquhar, fairly new. And then her dad, Wade Farquhar, was on my wrestling team at Broken Arrow. So Wade, great guy.
She will go against Addison Ivers.
And Ivers got the quick takedown. She's up 2-0 right now. And we're on this, and on the boys, we've got a split screen right now. So on the boys match, we've got a 4-0. Pappen's got the 4-1 lead here with 30 seconds into that second period. And I believe Pappen will have the choice in the third period as well. Ivers is doing a good job of putting the double flankers in here. She's wrestling tough. She got off to a double leg right off the bat. But her hips are away. Farquhar needs to get away and keep circling to her right to get away from that. Control hand, circle to her right.
Why has Pappen been so effective early on in this one?
Ponca City's always been real known hardcore they're riding. So Ponca City's really tough on top. That's kind of as a team and as a stuff in the past. Ponca's been well known for being tough on the mat, and it shows. When they get on top, they're doing a really good job. Dimmitt's on top here. Papin had the choice, chose down. Papin's got a 4-1 lead. He's got a caution there. He's got to make sure that he stays still once he stands on top. He kind of rolled forward. You get on the cautions, you get 3. So on the third caution, you give up a point.
Dimmitt's going to have to work quickly here.
Yeah, Dimmitt's down 3, but you know if you get a turn, you can get the 3 points. So, but he's got to bump him off his hips like he did just then and start looking for some points. Papin's doing a good job of controlling hands right now. He's controlling hands. He's getting his hips away.
They're both going to come off the mat here, though.
Come off the mat. They'll get a restart.
I think it comes down to the fact that they're nearly identical with weight, and their body type's the same.
Yeah,
everything about them is equal.
Body style's about the same. He's got to be careful. He rolled him again on that start, but he's got him broke down. This is good for Dermott. It's really good because he's got him broke down. He's over the hips. Now he's got to work for a pinning combination, because if he gets the count, which we've talked about it before, if you get a 3 count, you know, you get 1, 2, 3, you get your 2, or you get 2, you get 2. But then if he gets to a 5 count, he gets 3 points. And that's all he needs to tie this. Is he's got to get a back count here. And he's working toward it. He's looking for a cradle right now, and he's got it. Almost had it locked up.
He's pushing into that hip like you were talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah. Now, that was a good job by Papin to kind of can keep that hand till he got out. So now we need what we call a feet to back. So he's going to have to get a takedown plus some back points.
He's trying to grab him underneath, but Papin's going to pick up 2 more.
If I'm Ponca City, I'm going to cut him and look for some bonus points here.
Down to 23 seconds.
But, you know, he'd need multiple takedowns, so it's a lot to ask for in 30 seconds. But, you know, they've got something here. Looks like they might get on the board for the first time here on the boys' mat.
7 seconds.
There we go. So he's got him to stay. Final becomes 7-2. Ponca City. So Papin puts Ponca City on the board. We've got a 20-3 dual score here. And on the girls' side here, we've got Farquhar. She's actually tied it. She's tied at 3-3 here, and I believe it is what is it?
It's still Ivers, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Second period. So that double leg's not as
With a minute 10 to
powerful
go.
as it was in the first. So she's got to get her hips back, keep fighting ankles, and get her hips back and look to score here. So we've got Jake Miller here for Broken Arrow, and Jake Miller's coming off a good Gary tournament. He just got second in a tough bracket. So we got Jake Miller, and we got Braden
Percival.
Yeah, Braden Percival here. So Jake got a takedown, immediately cut him to get another point. He's gotten 2 takedowns within 20 seconds, so we should be up 4-1. Looking really good, really aggressive so far. A spladle there. Farquhar's got a spladle looking for a fall here.
Now, for the viewers at home, explain what a spladle is.
So basically a spladle is you've got one leg hooked in, you kind of keep the body kind of crunched in and the head pinned in between your side, reach to the far leg, pull him over, and it's a hard move to get out of. You know, I have a buddy that is, you know, multiple-time, 4-time All-American, Michigan State's winningest wrestler. That was his move. He would spladle people, and there's a famous picture of him wrestling international, and he had someone from Southeast Asia or something. He had him completely, you know, his legs completely spread out and his head trapped between his body. So it's a painful move. We've got a pinning combination here from Jake Miller. It looks like he's trying to get a fall here.
He's grinding.
This is tight right here.
Arm.
This is real tight right here. This is probably.
It's going to come down here to a pin. If he can just rotate his body over here.
Oh, yeah. And he's not. It looks like he's keeping that arm. He's going to try to get that shoulder pinned and put this away. It's close.
It's very close.
And there's 25
Chris.
seconds. He's got quite a bit of
He
time.
got
They called
it.
it. So there's the
How
pin
about
for Jake
that?
Miller. So another fall for Broken Arrow. They're up 26-3. So they're looking really good on both the boys and girls side. And it looks like
Farquhar is getting close to a pin.
Yeah, Farquhar is over there, and she was behind early. You know, going into the second period, she was behind and battled all the way back to where she's almost got a major here and going to keep Ponca from getting on the board. The females have still kept Ponca off the board, so they're wrestling extremely tough tonight.
At this moment right here, what does she need to do? Rotate that back leg?
She's got a good job keeping that leg there. They did a stalemate because it looks like, you know, when they call a stalemate, it's basically saying that no one's going to advance.
No one's getting anywhere.
Position.
Yeah, no one's advancing,
So,
right. And on the main for the boys, in the middle,
so
it's
not Miller on here. So we've got, it's Kane Miller.
Kane Miller.
Yep, Kane Miller and
Max
Culver. And Kane Miller's actually he's new to wrestling. So for him to be starting for a school like Broken Arrow,
it's pretty
coming out
impressive.
wrestling like that is very impressive. I know I've talked to Coach Rod Jones about him a little bit, and he was very impressed with him, and I am too, as far as his skill for such a youth wrestler in the or not youth, but just a skill for such a young wrestler in the sport. Very skilled. And he's working for a turn here.
And he nearly picked it up.
I thought
Chris.
he got a 2 count, but maybe he didn't. Oh, he did.
He
So
did
he did
get
get a 2
points.
count, so he gets his points. So we had back-to-back Millers wrestling for Broken Arrow. Guess.
By the way, I might add the JV have been taking care of business. I know we don't have a camera on them, but I believe they've had 2 or 3
Nice.
falls. So congrats to the JV program for the
Junior
Tigers.
high.
Junior high,
Yep,
correction.
Yep. And they've Broken Arrow's kind of taking care of business altogether. So this has been a successful night so far.
Might want to go to a 2-box here.
And Kane looks like he's going for the pin here. He's got 48 seconds, and Farquhar's got the lead here.
10-4.
10-4.
43 seconds.
Going for a cradle here. She looks like she's trying to get a cradle and get some bonus points. Kane Miller as well. I mean, both of them are going for bonus.
Kane just
He's just got to
grinding on
pop.
it.
He's got to pop a half here. That's kind of where his inexperience comes into play. Normally, you're going to get that half over there, but he's super tough for a kid so young in the sport. So the end of the first period, Kane Miller's got a 4-0 lead. He's got the choice too, and he's going to go down. Looks like 9 seconds left over here
For Farquhar.
Yeah, and she's going for. Looks like she's going for trying to get some more back points here. And Broken Arrow's got a towel tapper, that Annabelle Chase, which is one of their better wrestlers as well. She's out with an injury, so Broken Arrow squad over here for the
Another
girls
victory.
are loaded. Yes, and they've keeping them off the board. So
that will bring up Riley Robler versus Caitlin Cooper momentarily on the girls' mat.
Yep. So Robler and Cooper, another fall for Broken Arrow. So back-to-back falls for the Millers. Kane Miller and Jake Miller, back-to-back falls.
You know, to pick up a fall when he's still learning as a wrestler, that's very impressive
No,
stuff.
I see why Coach Rod was so high on him. He's got a lot of potential. We call it a ceiling. He's got a very high ceiling, so he's got a lot of room to go. So we got Cadence Roop here wrestling.
151.8. It looks like he gained a little bit of weight.
Yeah, and that's good. He wants to put on that muscle, and he's coming off a 5th place finish at the Gary Open. He'll be wrestling. Actually, he will be wrestling. Looks like they probably bumped. Let me see. It's got. I'm not sure if it's. They got 2 here, so I don't know which one it is. It's either Paisley or Tucker. But Roop's got him in a tight half Nelson here. This is real.
This might
tight.
go quick right here.
I think that he's going to put double flankers, and you're not
Roop
getting
is
out
just
of that.
controlling right there. He's going for the pin.
What Roop needs to do is put both legs over,
And then he would take care of business
yeah,
right
he would
there.
he would be done there. So
He
he's
picked
got
up
the
3,
3.
though.
So he's going to keep that on, and they call it Turk. He's going to look for the Turk, but he's got to stand under the chin.
That just comes down to experience.
Yes, he's got to keep that Turk turret the body, go into the chin, and walk it out.
Tigers picked up 2 points on the far side for the ladies.
Tigers are showing their dominance over there on the ladies.
Cadence is just
another takedown here, so he's up 7-1 with the escape. He's cutting them again. Looks like he's going to go for scoring some points here.
1 point, Tucker.
Tucker picked up 1, so it is Tucker.
Okay, so Tucker, and then I believe they've got a Boyd, so they'll probably move.
And he just picked up the pin right there. So that's 3 falls or 4?
I believe 4. No, 3 in a row for
3
the
in
boys,
a row.
I believe, yeah. No, it's 4 because no, 3 in a row because we had Dimmitt.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're going to bump more than likely. We'll see Paisley here on this one. So Cash Paisley, I'm sure we'll see from Ponca. And then
for the ladies.
And then for Broken Arrow.
This is still Robler and Caitlin Cooper.
And then for Broken Arrow, we'll have. We can either. Franklin gets the forfeit, so they didn't bump anyone. So Franklin gets the forfeit, so technically that is our 4th, what you call pin, because they do the same thing. Yeah, so.
Is there another term for that, like an old school or anything like that? Because it's
just a forfeit, yeah.
But that's the last thing you want to see.
No, you want to compete. You don't want to get the forfeit. As a coach, you want to compete too, but you do know there's a guaranteed 6 points for you. Now here we are at 160 pounds. Looks like we've got for Broken Arrow. I can't see right now who it is we've got coming out. It's either
Blake
Valletta or Hankins. So Darren Hankins or Blake Valletta. And then for Ponca City, looks like we'll have
2 points, Man.
So Mann's going to be out here. So Mann's getting the takedown in the back count. So
this is Man.
Well,
they said Man.
I thought they said
we
Man
have 2
got the
wrestlers,
forfeit.
folks, so bear with us here because
So Franklin might have got the forfeit then, and then they moved Man up. I'm not sure because that last weight was the 158.
Correct. So Man moved up.
Man moved up a weight. He's working here, trying to get a fall here. What he needs to do, he's got that far leg, and that's what he did just now. He needs to come across the face now and work the turret. He's got to kind of keep that chin and then drive it out. Push that elbow on that right side up, which he's doing a good job keeping that elbow close to the body.
And our junior highs have just wrapped up, by the way.
And Broken Arrow won convincingly on the junior high. Is that correct?
Yes,
they
it
dominant.
looked very tough on our side.
And that's where it starts. He starts on the junior high and then goes over. Man's getting a back count here, so looks like he'll probably go up 7-0 here in the first.
And we'll update that on the score as well.
Actually, he got 2, so he didn't get quite the 5 count. So he's got 2, so he's up 6-0. Looks like that's what it'll be going into the second period.
Like I said, folks, we got a lot of work, not a lot of staff tonight, and so got to give a shout out to Blake Shy, who's our
they're doing a great
putting
job.
all this together.
Dan, they're making us look good over here.
Yes, they
do a
are.
Good job. So he gave a stall call, it looks like, over there to Ponca City. Broken Arrow's choice. Broken Arrow's chose down. And we talked about it earlier, Dan. Ponca's tough on top. They do a good job. You can always count on them being really tough on top. They keep the hips real close. They look for, they look really hard to get back points.
2 points are going to go to Cooper on the far side with the takedown for Ponca.
They got to be, she's getting that, Cooper's running that half real tight. She's got to be careful she doesn't give up any more points than that takedown because, Broken Arrow probably wants to maintain that shutout over there. They're doing a really good job and they've been really dominant.
Man.
So Robler's got to be real careful here and get some points back. Looks like she's in a good spot now. So Man's 7-0. Looks like he's trying to Should be 8. Should have got the escape, so he's got to take down here. So it should
2
be,
more points there for Man.
Should be, yeah. Not sure if they issued the 1 point, so should be 10-0. Here we are on top. Broken Arrows does a good job kind of controlling that top position. Yeah, it's funny. We talked about Kaiser going to Michigan earlier. We didn't even throw in the cue that they just come off a national title on
Yes,
Monday.
they did. Yes.
That's something that hadn't happened that often. It's crazy sports world. Michigan wins the title. Now, Man's got to be careful here because you could put your shoulders to the mat and give up a fall, but Michigan winning the title, Saban retiring, then interesting little.
Belichick retires.
Well,
I guess he hasn't completely ruled that he's retired, and Pete Carroll was let go.
Yeah.
What a wild week in football.
It's been crazy. Coaches in their 70s haven't had good luck. All of them are in their 70s. So I'm not sure about Saban though. I think he's riding off into the sunset.
Yeah, I think he's done now.
So we're in the third period.
Both are going to stand
They're
up.
going to go on their feet. So
does that surprise you at this point in the match?
Not really. He's like I was saying earlier, Ponca's really tough on top. So maybe he wants to get to his feet. He's been dominant on his feet. He's got the major. He's got a 9-0. So.
And Robler picks up another win.
Robler gets another win for Broken Arrow down there in the ladies' match. I believe they're 42 or 45 to nothing. I believe it's 45-0 for Broken Arrow.
What a night!
And they'll have Alex Combs will be up next for Broken Arrow, and she's going to go against looks like Zimmerman or Zimmersfield. So Zimmersfield for Ponca City.
140.7. Alex Combs is 138.1, and that 2-pound difference can play a factor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get here. It looks like another back count, but he's got to be careful here because he's getting himself in danger where that guy can reach across and get a headlock. Now, he's done a good job getting his head out. So Man's got that Turk in. He's got to walk it out, which he's doing right now. He's got to keep the head and walk it out a little bit because then that gets the shoulders.
Yeah, he's trying to pull himself on that mat.
Yeah, and that's what you want to you want to walk it out with that head kind of cradled underneath your arm. There he is. He's got double flankers in, and you see how he's stretching back out.
His whole body
That's
out.
exactly what you want to do. Chris Perry and OSU, that was their bread and butter. They still do it. If you'll see a lot of those guys that are doing that on the college level, Chris Perry was really good at it.
Now, basically, when he does that flanker, he wants to stretch him all the way and then rotate in that process as well to go for the pin if he has a shot at it.
What you want to do is you want to stretch him out like that. You can either turn him there with one leg, kind of hip over. But the best thing to do is probably power half, which puts your forearm in the back of the head, crank on it until you get the shoulder up. When you get the shoulder up, a certain deal, you want to put the half in, and then you can either, at one point you'll need to probably take a leg off and then, work toward pinning him with that half. It's a good move here, and Broken Arrow's had several guys doing it. Well, 11-0, we got a major decision. Man wins the match here.
Now, I know it's a major decision. He didn't get the pin, but still got to be satisfied with the way he was able to wrestle that.
Oh, yeah, they're getting bonus points, and it looks like we talked about earlier, they had bumped him up, too. So if he had bumped up on that, it definitely.
Now, I got to ask you, when you get bumped up in that side of the thing, Chris, you're preparing for one guy, and now you're getting another guy. How do you even go in that game plan?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times, a lot of the best wrestlers, what they want to look at is they want to enforce their style on people. So it doesn't matter who you're wrestling, just enforce your style. But there's some things you got to prepare for. If there's one guy or whatever that you likes a certain move and you're planning on that move being done, then you got to be prepared for that. So now we're at the looks like we're going to be at the one. I believe we're because they bumped. Franklin had the bye here, and then they moved Man to 60. So we're trying to wait right now. Bear with us. We're trying to figure out who we've got at the 60-pound weight.
And on the women, it's Combs and
Zimmerfield over there. Zimmerfield over here for Ponca. It looks like she's working on a cradle over there, Combs for Broken Arrow, but she's getting too high. She's got to settle back. And we're still waiting, guys. Bear with us. We've got several guys here in this weight, and they've maneuvered
bumped
the
up
weight
Man,
a little bit. So
like,
yeah.
We know it's a Tiger wrestling for the boys, but we might not have a name. We might
Good
get a pin
shot
here.
here
We
with the
did
fireman.
for Combs.
Another fall of Broken Arrow. They've been dominant right now on the female side over there.
Coach has got to be happy about that.
Oh, no doubt. They're not only winning, they're winning with pins and getting these matches over with. So they've looked extremely good. Still 0-0 here on the boys' mat. 50 seconds left between Broken Arrow and Ponca City. We're trying to figure out who's on the mat for each of them. They bumped the lineup around, so we'll find out in a minute and let you know. But it's still 0-0 right now. Guys are kind of going for position, and I thought Broken Arrow thought we had a good little fireman's carry to our back and score points, but Ponca did a good job of getting out of that.
Sophia won the last match. No wrestler.
For Broken Arrow, were they?
Correct.
Okay. So they had a hole there, so it looks like that they will get some points there.
I believe that's their last match.
Looking for a takedown here. There's 14 seconds left.
10 seconds.
Looks like he's gotten out of it.
Now in the first.
0-0 going into the second.
I believe it's Stinscombe, but
no, Stinscombe's Stinscombe would be coming up next.
okay. Still waiting on confirmation.
So it's either Valletta or Hankins because they bumped somebody up.
It
so
is
it's
Hankins.
So
Okay.
Darren Hankins here. They bumped him up, so Darren Hankins is here. He's wrestling Goddard over.
Goddard.
Yeah,
Jackson Goddard. Okay, there we go, folks. Sorry about that for the delay.
Bear with us. They kind of manipulated that weight in the middle there, so we were kind of waiting to see. Broken Arrow's got a 48-3 dual team score lead over here, so that's 48-3 lead. It looks like the women are done, so Broken Arrow, the women win. Is it 61-6? 51. Okay, 51-6. So, and that actual 51-0. Okay, I thought they had a forfeit there. So Broken Arrow girls win 51-0. Good performance for them tonight over Ponca City,
to the
no
Lady
doubt.
Tigers.
Hankins is on a shot, looking to finish that.
He's trying to rotate him.
There's a takedown. So he's got a 3-0 lead.
You know, Hankins has grown up. The last match that you and I did,
yeah,
he wrestled strong in that one.
He's wrestled real good. He gave up a reversal here. I know. I went to school with his dad, Damon, great guy. So, you know, Darren's a good kid, and like you said, he's growing in the sport. Each time we see him, he's getting better and better. So, he's got the point here. So it's good. Dan, we always say, you know, get your points back. So if some guy takes you down or something, you know, make sure to get your points back. And that's what Darren did there, Darren Hankins there. So he's up 4-2, 6 seconds left in this second period.
So they will go to 3.
Ponca City will get the choice in the third period too.
At this point, would you want to go down if you're
Yeah,
Ponca?
if you're Ponca, you want to go down, you know, try to get your points. Now, you can go neutral. I mean, but he's been taken down twice, so he did get close to a reversal and he got an escape. So I say go down and get your points.
Once again, the Lady Tigers victorious over Ponca City, so that's why you only see one match now.
51-0.
51-0, so we'll focus just on the boys.
We're not a scatterbrain now. We can just watch the boys.
No, watch one match at a time.
We just concentrate on one. So, and now we know who's wrestling in it, so it'll help us even more. So, Darren's doing a good job here. He's got to
keep going,
crawl up the back. And so far, we got a minute 30 here. He's been riding tough for 30 seconds. So, been kind of controlling him on top, chopping the arm, taking stuff away.
Does it ever get distracting with mats coming up and you're trying to wrestle?
No, but I tell you what, that's the part where you kind of find out who's a team player and who's not. Some people go hiding when it comes to these big one-piece mats, or 3-piece mats, and they're huge, so they're
heavy.
not easy to lift. So, and
Hankins rotating him over.
he's got the bar arm tilt. Looking for a bar arm tilt here. He's in a good spot here with a minute 12. Like I said, he's got a 4-2 lead. He's got to ride tough, look for some points, but he's doing a good job. There's the tilt. Now he's got to catch the bottom leg there. If he can catch that bottom leg and elevate with his top leg, he can tilt those shoulders.
He's not going to pick any back points up there, though.
He did get it, but it's a lot harder on a good wrestler. And I'm not saying that Goddard's not a good wrestler. I'm just saying when the higher levels you go, you got to make sure they trap that bottom leg. If you don't, you're not going to get the points because that guy's got leeway to kind of roll right through your cheap tilt. He got the 5 count, so he's got 3 points. He's up 7-2 now. He's got a little more of a comfortable lead. And Dan, what I like is once the junior high and the girls are done, they're
Everybody
on the side of the
stays
mat
and
now,
watch, yeah.
watching and supporting these varsity boys.
And no
here
one's
wrestling.
left, which is the best part about this.
So we've got 5 seconds left. A 7-2 looks like it's going to be a 7-2 win for Hankins here. Did a good job. He stayed on top, controlled him the whole time, and even got back count. So he did a really good job. I should have just looked over. His dad knew it was Hankins wrestling. His dad looked a little nervous over there, so I should have just looked over there. I could have told
Is that
us
who's
who was
walking
wrestling.
up? Right?
Yeah, that was over there. So
Former teammate of yours is.
and he was just he wrestled in junior high and then went on and did some other stuff.
Gotcha.
Just a great guy. So known him my entire time, but he was a wrestler. He wrestled for North. So we're going to have, it looks like it's going to be Brandon Jones here.
We're at 190 weight class. We'll get names momentarily.
Looks like it's going to be Jones. Stinchcom's not wrestling this match, so I know Stinchcom, so he's not wrestling. So it's going to be, looks like Jones here, and he'll be wrestling against
Alonzo Bagosi.
Alonzo Bagosi, it looks like. So quick takedown there for Jones. Or actually, he didn't get the takedown. They called him out of bounds, so still 0-0. He's trying to control elbows, control something, look for a takedown. And we talked about it earlier, Dan, but this is another match where it's a difference in body styles, body types. Jones is kind of a longer, taller wrestler, and Alonzo from Ponca City is just a short, squatty wrestler. Got to get his head up, get out. But he's got to be careful here because he get rolled through to his back. He's in trouble here.
Yes, he is.
But if he can get his arm free, he's got to get his arm free. He's got to get that left arm through, and he'll be fine. But, I mean, it's not trapped yet. He's got to be careful because if Alonzo scoots back, he's in trouble. Right now, he can get that left arm free if he just kind of scoots it out, which is what he's doing right now.
He's fighting back.
3 points.
3 points for Ponca.
Yep. So
Now he's got by
Alonzo
5.
from Ponca's up 5-0 with the 30 seconds left in the first. That was kind of a good transition on his part. Jones gets a point back, so he's down 5-1.
4 points.
Got 19 seconds. He really needs to look for a takedown here at the end of this period. Did a good job shooting it and got the takedown, so now it's 5-3.
Good job on Jones right there, Chris.
And he's too high right now. He's got to settle back. You stay where he's at right now. There's short time. There's 3 seconds left.
So far, I know we've seen a lot of matches. This one's been pretty entertaining.
Yeah. There have been a lot of action. Both guys are wrestling really, really aggressive, so it's been good so far. Jones is going down. It's a good call. I would immediately go down and get some more points on the board. Try to cut into the lead.
We got the escape already once, so he's proven that he can do it.
Oh, yeah. Jones is up, trying to control hands.
Picked up 2 more there.
Down there, so he's up 6-5 here. So now he went from almost getting pinned to now
taking back the lead.
And he's got a cradle here. We talked about it earlier when you got these body types and these short body type versus long. The cradle's a good move, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, unbelievable by Jones with the cradle.
Another fall.
For the fall. So here we got a guy that started out in the match, looked like it was
he was close
feast
to
or
getting pinned
famine,
himself, yes.
and then came back, fought it all to pick up the win.
Yes, so now we've got
2:15.
So we got 2:15. We got Gunnar Wilson. Gunnar Wilson's just coming off a second-place finish over there at the Gary tournament. Gunner's one of the top guys, and he's going to be wrestling Jose Herrera. So Herrera, it looks like, will be going against Gunnar Wilson. Gunnar immediately is in on a takedown. 57. So Broken Arrow's got a 57. They're up 57. Or excuse me, Broken Arrow's 57. Ponca City's 3 on the team score.
I got to ask you, he kind of looked at Coach with one hand. Is that common in the match to communicate that like effortlessly?
Oh, yeah, especially when you're on a level like Gunnar and you know you're controlling the guy. Look at the coach. Do you want me to take him down? Do you want me to pin him? What do you want me to do? And it looks like
how much confidence you got to have in your wrestler when he can pull something like that?
Though? A lot. But
because it's not going to happen to every wrestler.
You also like him looking at you and being able to say, "Hey,
what do you want, Coach?"
Yeah.
He's
looks
going
like we might
quick
get another
work.
fall. And Broken Arrow's been a pinning machine tonight.
Yes, they have, for the boys and the girls.
Yes, yeah.
And
there's another fall.
I got to just give kudos to Gunnar. Gunnar takes the time, looks at Coach. Coach, do you want me to pin it now or do you want me to wait a little bit, you know?
I'll tell you what.
I don't know exactly what was said.
I think Dan whispered something into the Broken Arrow coach's ear saying, I need to get home early tonight. Wife's got a dinner or something because they're pinning these guys left and right.
So Kaylin Thompson, 283.1 versus Blois Magaya.
Blois Magaya, and we've got Thompson for Broken Arrow. So this is it. This is heavyweight. Broken Arrow 63, Ponca City 3.
Did you ever wish you could wrestle at the heavyweight class in your time?
Yeah, I would have loved it. Because they could eat all the time.
Yeah.
You know. Nice slide by there by Tom. Nice takedown. Nice slide by.
Thompson is just going to work using his weight.
He looked really good with that
Well,
slide
if you look
by.
at the difference, I mean, you know, Blois is giving up about 20 pounds.
Yes,
so,
and
that's the difference maker.
That is one point where you get into the heavyweights where you can have that big weight differential. But Thompson did a great job of feeling the pressure, sliding them by and getting behind the arms. So we've got 1 minute 17 seconds left. Thompson's got a 2-0 lead. He's pulling him back. Once again, the cradle. We've been seeing a lot of that tonight. He did get a count. I'm surprised he got out of it, but he got a count.
So that'll double up his points.
Now he's just got to run that. You know, when you get to heavier bodies like that, once you get to the back, it's really hard to get off. There's the fall. There we go.
3 straight at the end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and there was we'd have to count them up, but there was a lot of falls in this match. And Dan, I appreciate you allowing me to sit next to you and commentate this match. And Broken Arrow did a good job. I think we brought him some luck with all the falls.
The Tigers take care of business on the boys and the girls this evening.
Final for the boys was 69-3. For the girls, I believe, was 51-0.
51-0.
And the junior high won as well.
Junior high won as well.
Good day for Broken Arrow.
Great day to be a Tiger. We'd like to thank our One Club sponsors, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, Ascension St. John, Tulsa Bone and Joint, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Matthews Ford, and the Aero Group. I want to give a shout out to our AeroVision crew, Antonio Hurling, our stream director, Greg Spencer, director of AeroVision, along with Blake Shy, who had many hats tonight in the broadcast.
They did a great job.
Chris, and I also got to give a big shout out to our students that were helping out running cameras as well. Congratulations to the girls. They were a winner this evening, 51-0. The boys, a 69-3 winner. Until tomorrow night, we'll be back on with AeroVision. Broken Arrow taking on the Jinx Trojans as the Tigers look to continue their winning ways against the Trojans of Jinx. Until next time, go Tigers!